Alright, so, why did I say that? Every time, dude. Every time. Showtime. Welcome back to a new YouTube video. This is going to be part 1 of the motor build, so stay tuned and we'll get stuck into it.
Well, it's a Monday night, we're drinking beers, Pitty's sold, and we're working on TDs. Doesn't get much better than this.
Yeah. So what we've got we got 2 TDs that have, done their business with getting hot. We've got a lifted head one. So this is silver top, black top, silver top. I'm going to pinch the front cover off this so I can run a normal alternator and not have the lines there, so I can run my turbo oil line there. And
then the black top timing cover has an extra bit here to run
the back pump
off your timing gears.
Yep, so then we'll run that there. The oil line, oil feed is down here, and then that'll work perfect. So then I'll be like, yeah, it's a black top. Yeah. But no, it'll just be easier for alternators and that later. If I need to carry a spare or something, I don't have to carry the vac pump on the back of it or try and change it over. So yeah, we'll get to stripping this head down to see what the bores look like, and if the bores are good, I've got the spool rods there. We're going to get new bearings, run new bearings through it. I've got to get turbo oil squirters, turbo oil pump, ARP head studs, head gasket, pistons, the works pretty much. But
probably pre-comp chambers, because they always crack.
More than likely, yeah. So we'll get stuck into it.
So guys, we're going to see it running back in my pocket.
Where are the forks? What are you doing? Got the... You can. We've got the forks, man. I don't feel safe here.
I'm in danger!
Yeah, hang on, cut. The walk of shame. Go get the forks, boy. Bring her on in. Yep, up, yep. Get out of there. That's gonna slide. There you go. Oh my. Yeah. Do you want to, you right? Nice and slow. Gonna have to speed this up. Alright, so as you would have seen in the time lapse, we've stripped it down, got it ready. Our head bolts are out, so we're just about to pull the head out and put that up here, and I'll show you a video of it, all the bores and that. So yeah, we'll just pull that off. As you can see in this clip here, It's not a very good video, but we're just inspecting the bores and there's a couple of little scores in there. You can't really see it, but at this stage I was like, I'm this far, I may as well do it properly and get it all redone. So I got new sleeves and that put in. So that's the head. I've just pulled out all the injectors and all the washers and that. I didn't really show anything of that. I'll pull out the glow plugs now because the head is getting ready to be sent off to get all decked and crack tested, and yeah, I'll be putting new valve springs and the lot in there, so all the pre-comps will be getting done and yeah, stuff like that. So yeah, I've labelled all the injectors, not that it really matters on the TDs, but they're new injectors and they've like 1,000 Ks old, not even, so I'll just put them back where they came. Got here and I've just pulled the water pump and that off, pull the front housing off. And like this is all the glug that was sitting in there. Just like, because it's been sitting for a while now, I guess, but must have been in there. That it wouldn't come out when I flushed it. So yeah, the hot wash is here, so that'd be good. Water pump's still fine, nothing wrong with that. And it's pretty good casing, this one, so hopefully the blacktop one's similar. There's no pitting or anything in there, so yeah, I'll have to pull the black one apart and blacktop one and see how that goes. But yeah, there's a cake in this goo, so I'll yeah, pull this front thing off the harmonic balancer and I'll pull the front cover off. So yeah, so I've got all the main caps off, front cover, rear main, yeah, sumps off, obviously, oil pickup. So yeah, just about ready to pull this crank out, and yeah, this is all the old rods in that. I won't be using any of them, so, and I probably won't even use the front cover. I'll get another one, but it's a pretty good condition silver top one, so I'll keep that for one of the other motors. But yeah, cam's out as well, and it's all in here. So yeah, and I've got all the bolts and I've got that old oil pump. I'll just wash it anyway, but I've got a turbo one coming. I got turbo squirters as well, so pull all them out and then yeah, chuck it in the hot wash and see how it comes up. Sorry, and yeah, also sorry for the wind, but yeah, not much I can do about it. These are my choices of front covers. This one here, it's not too bad, and this will come off when I wire it properly. This one looks mint, and then there's just a big chunk out of that. I don't know if you can see it, but I'm pretty sure that'll probably make it cavitate a lot more than this one, so I'll clean this one up best I can and I'll see what the difference is, and if it's worth paying 500 bucks for a new one or not, I'll see. But yeah, it's a shame because my other one, my silver top one's probably been better, but it's just doesn't have the vac pump down there, which I want to do. So yeah. Alright, so these are the parts after the parts washer's done its job. This probably needs a little bit. This will get polished, the crank anyway, and so will the cam, but yeah, it's come up way nicer. Be able to clean that up a bit and give it a good paint, and block should come up mint. It's a bit of a shame, there's only like, I don't know if you can see, there's a couple of scores, like one like that, but it's right. It'll be good, get it fresh. So yeah. Alright, so we're moving on to the engine bay. I've got Isaac here doing some more slave labour. So we're going to make this spaghetti right here look good. So get a quick before shots and we'll show some afters when it's done. Half an hour and this is the mess he's got already. It's partly me. Jungle. There is so... I had no idea the wiring was this bad. There's just shit going everywhere. So we're in the process of finding out what does what does nothing, and getting rid of it. But we've cleared a fair bit out, so yeah. We'll tackle that side a bit after, but we're just playing with all this bush-doof headlight wiring and that, so...
Main plan is to clean this up.
Yeah.
All that, so it looks
clean all this up. So we're going to make a little panel and then pretty much just tidy everything up under there and make it all... I don't have the fuse panel, but I've got a couple of fuse panels that'll run here and 2 wires off the battery, and just tidy it all up and make it really, well, safe really, and look really tidy, so yeah. So we've just managed to feed all the wires through this hole, so that is good. We didn't have to cut it or make it any bigger. So we
Just had to deep in some stuff.
Deep in some stuff, yeah, but got it all through, took all the conduit off it. We're just going to continue stripping all this down now, get all the wires clean, and then
turn it into one loom.
Turn it into one loom, yeah, and then we'll mount all the what's the names here, all the relays and that. So yeah, if we do have any dramas, it's not hard to pull the guard off. It's like 10 bolts or something like that. So yeah, this will be good. It'll be a lot tidier, a lot neater up in here. So we've got all this pushed off wiring we've got to tidy up, but we'll get the harness to come back through here, go up to here, and then we'll just run it back how it runs from factory and hide it under there. So yeah, we'll tidy all this up now. It looks a bit of spaghetti, but it'll
come together.
Yeah, it'll come together. It's just all loose at the moment because we've taken all the tape off it. So
yeah. So, yeah, once it's all done, it's gonna
way better because from factory there's just a ball of wires there, and it'll be so much better to get that cleaned up. So
pretty well shit going everywhere, right?
yeah, from factory. So a lot of spaghetti, but we've got a lot of stuff everywhere. I have to sweep up again. But all right, just welded up these, ground it back and painted it both there. There was a couple of cracks. This is all sorted. Just doing the earth cable now. Oh, we're just finishing off this harness, making brackets, waiting for paint to dry for brackets for this. Gonna make that sit here, intercooler piping's here, so it's all pretty tight, but it's looking all right, and we've got clearance by the looks of it, so that's a good thing. Still gotta do the aftermarket harness and the headlights, so most of the other stuff, like the end of the harness and that, we're gonna have to wait till the motor's in so we can run it neatly to like the alternator and aircon and stuff like that. But it's coming along and it's getting there, so that's the main thing.
We're 90% done.
90% done, and the last 10% will drag on to be ended up being 50%, but one of the motors in. But yeah, that's the main bit sorted. I've been making this little bracket, cutting it up and that, and this is for this aircon canister. It's being very painful, but oh, that's backwards. Hang on. So that's going to sit in there like that, just to get it out the way of everything, and it'll mount there, so I can get my intercooler piping up through there. That's going to sit up in there when it's mounted. All intercooler and that, mounted the horns here. It just fits, so I have to nick a little bit out of either the horn or the grill. That's mounted. We've got the wiring. Most of it's all back tucked up under there. Or when it's in there, it'll be tucked up in there. And yeah, it's all been wrapped in that nice stuff. It's a bit dirty, but yeah, so we'll finish it off, obviously, when the motor's in and we can run it to the right spots, but it's looking good. We just dummy fitted and tested all the lights as well, so they all work, and we know we've got all the indicators hooked up and everything. So yeah, we'll hook all that up and mount this buzz bar here for all this aftermarket stuff, and probably just on the inside of there. But yeah, it's coming along. It's a very wiring sucks. It's a long as process, but it'll be worth it in the end.
All right, so this clip, the audio actually got messed up because of the microphone's not set up, but I was just saying, yeah, we're going to pick up the block and I'll pick it back up when we get there.
So I've got the block, picked it up from machining. It's all machined out, got its new cam bearings in, new one of them pressed in. Still got to change all these core plugs, but yeah, that's pretty much that. New liners, but yeah, all the pistons and that got put back in there with everything else, with the head and that. So we've got to clean all this up, tape it all up, wire wheel it all and paint it. So I'm just cleaning up all these with a bit of emery where all the core plugs go, all in here. And then I've got to get the wire wheel, and I'll wire wheel all this and all of this, and then tape it all up and paint it. So I've just cleaned it up with the wire wheel on the tie grinder, but it's overheated, so I've just got it on the drill, and it's actually worked out good because I can get it to most of the corners, so that's cleaned up pretty good. So I'll do the other side and go clean it, and then I'll get it ready for paint, wax and grease remover it, and then high temp black. So yeah, I'll do that. Go down over here and wash this block off. Got wire wheel shit everywhere, so we'll just give it a quick clean. So I just got it back from the wash over there, degreased it and blew, pressure cleaned all out, all the oil holes and all that. So yeah, I had to do that pretty quick. I couldn't video that because else it starts to rust. So did all that, blew it off, CRC straight on it, kept blowing it off. So yeah, they've come up all good. So yeah, it's come up good from a bit of a wire wheel and that. So I'll clean it all off now and make sure all the edges, I'll wax and grease remove it and brake cleaner it and that. So then I've got some paint there, I'll put it on here and paint it and tape it up, and yeah. So I've got the ACL race bearings, they're good ones. They're the crank ones, so it's all clean. The crank's just been polished on the lathe, so yeah, we'll get that in now. Alright, so here's the head. That's all been all done, new valve springs, it's been all skimmed, new core plugs. So that's all freshened up. Got the gasket kits here, new head gasket, and so I've got all the pistons here, the turbo spec ones. I've got turbo oil pump, turbo oil squirters, all new core plugs and that. So yeah, everything's fresh. Yeah, ACL rod bearings as well, main ones. So yeah, it's good. All right, so we've got the crank in and it's all torqued down. It's all covered up now, obviously, because you don't want to get dust and stuff in there. So I'll pick back up on that tomorrow. Dylan's going to get me some rods because my spool ones are no good. So I'm just getting some factory turbo ones, which should be good enough. And then yeah, put them in, do the piston clearances and that, and yeah, we'll go from there. So I'll pick back up then. Alright, so back another day on the TD. So block's been done, the crank's in. I'm sure you've heard about that. So I'm just cleaning up some of these front covers. That's the backing plate for the front cover where the fuel pump and that bolts to. So I'll clean all this up and continue cleaning up all the other parts. They've all been to the robo wash a couple of times, so they're pretty clean. I just got to get off these gaskets now and then give them another clean, and then yeah, they can never be too clean. So yeah, I'll get stuck into doing that. So I've just cleaned up the front cover as best I could. There's a little bit of pitting and stuff in here. It's not too bad. It looks worse than it actually is. But yeah, that's going to be good enough. I might machine the face of the water pump to get it closer, and yeah, apparently that's supposed to stop the cavitating. So I'll give this a good clean up now. I've knocked that front seal out and I'll clean all this and see what it looks like after that. That's come up pretty good.
Oh, look at this, that looks
brake
good.
Cleaned it, blew it off, and then wiped it with some more brake cleaner. So it's come up pretty good. And then I've done this one as well, cleaned all that up, wire wheeled it and painted that black. I got obviously a fair bit more to do. Clean, I got to do the oil cooler. I'll paint the oil cooler and this stuff as well. So yeah, get that done. Just done piston protrusions. They're all a little bit, they're all in spec except one. So we're going to be pulling them out and redoing all the piston protrusions. So yeah. I'm just cleaning up one of my old pistons so we can just test it on the lathe just to get the right machining. I think we're taking off, it'll vary between the pistons how much we're taking off, but this is it here. So we've got all the protrusions, so they're a bit over the spec, and we want to go down anyway because it's a turbo for a bit less compression. So yeah, we'll be going down to like I think 6.8 foul or something like that. So we're just going to test it on one of my old pistons here. And yeah, then we can do the real ones. Setting it up in the lathe now. Brad's just sharpening a cutting bit, and then yeah, we've got to play around and get it all right. So we'll do it on this dummy one and get it all set up, and yeah, should be good. Alright, so we've just machined this one. That is 5 foul now, so that is what we're going to be setting the rest at. We've set up the machine to do that, so the lathe, so we'll get that all to this spec, and then I'll show you them all done. So it's a long process, but yeah, definitely worth getting it right because we're not doing this again. Just pressure cleaned the sump, wire wheeled all the gasket off, lowered the backside, got all the goo out of all the holes, and I've just brake cleaned it, and I've got to wipe it down again with the brake cleaner and a rag, but yeah, get ready to paint it, so it'll come up good, I reckon. And then yeah, Brad's over there machining all the pistons. So yeah, it's coming along good. kind of them 3. So just got 3 more to go. He's doing that one, so 2 more after that, and yeah, keen. So we've just cycled it and made sure all the turbo oil squirters are going into their oil ports properly on all of them, because they're all a little bit kicked and that. So we just like loosened them, brought them back a bit, and then bent them if they needed it. So that's all good. So yeah, new oil pump. This is the turbo spec one, so that'll be good. ALP head studs, new rear main, everything's going on, so it's looking good. Alright, so I've just painted the block, cleaned up all the main ports and stuff like that. On this side, yeah, cleaned all around there and there and there, so that's all painted. Some high temp paint, so that's good. Yeah, just start the sump on there now, and I'll put all the rags and stuff over it, because that'll probably do for tonight. But a fair bit done all the time, or not all the timing, some of the timing. I'll put oil pump in, cam, and then the vac and the fuel pump can wait. So yeah, get all that done hopefully tomorrow, and then get ready to put the head on. We'll test out the new ARP head studs and that, so yeah, that would be awesome. Fair few parts in that here, so oil pump, ARP head studs, and then all the cam followers and stuff like that. And I've got the oil cooler that's outside. I've just been pressure cleaning that, so yeah, big day. So yeah, it'll be good. Alright, so just got the idler pulley on, not pulley, you know, got the idler gear on. Put the oil pump on and the cam in now, so get stuck into that. Get some of my King Chrome tools. Alright, so just grabbing the cam out of the robo. Maybe I'll give it a quick pressure clean with the greaser and that, and brake clean it and blow it off, and then we can check all these surfaces here. If they need it, give them a quick emery, but I'm sure they'll be fine. Alright, so I just cleaned up the cam. There was a few spots that we just emeryed a bit, because there was a bit of surface rust on it from sitting over in the wash bay. So cleaned that up, and that came up nice, and we put a heap of this bloody cam and lifter lube on it. And then yeah, we slid that in there, Loctited these bolts in just because we didn't want them to come loose. All the timing's good. Got the dots lined up, and then the fuel pump can go there. Put that on later, but yeah, it's coming up good. So I'm just cleaning out the oil cooler. I'll show you that. It's a bit messy. Front cover, and that's there. I'm just cleaning up all here so I can give it some paint, because it looks a bit average, but I'll clean it up. And I've got that out of there. I'll clean that up as well, and clean this up, and I'll show you that. That's painful to clean. If you know, you know. There's so much oil that still comes out of there after you've cleaned it like 6 times. But yeah, I'll get to this now. So I've just pulled this out of here, and just to clean it all. So I'll clean all that, put that back in there. Just a fair bit of oil and shit in there. So, and I'll do that one as well. So yeah, just make sure you do it all properly and clean it all out. There's no point cutting corners now to get a big bit of shitty black oil in the motor. So yeah, clean all this out. I'll pour petrol in here, and I'll let it sit overnight, and swish it around, pressure clean it out, and yeah, do it all properly. So you probably can't hear me, mind the noise, it's raining outside, so yeah. Right, so I've just got this relief valve out, just been cleaning with a heap of brake cleaner. So I'll clean all this up, and I'll put it back in there, and got a new washer for it, so I won't be cleaning that. But yeah, then I'll put that back in there, and I'll clean it up a bit more and give it a paint, and then should be good to put on. Now that that's all clean, give it another clean, because my hand's filthy before I put it in there, but I've got to clean, yeah, where is it, in there a bit more. So got the front cover on, but just cleaning up all the bolts for the sump. So then we'll put a bit of goo on there, and yeah, and a proper gasket as well. So yeah, I've got the metal genuine gasket for, what is that called? Oil cooler. So yeah, that's coming on good. New rear mains on. I've already explained all this, but I've got to bring in the fuel pump and all that, and the brand new water pump, all that for tomorrow. And then we'll put all the core plugs and that all in as well. So vacuum pump, because I've changed from a silver top front cover to a black top. So vac pump can go in there, and I got to pick up an oil feed from, I think it's this one for that. So yeah, I'll get all that and get on with it. So I've got that relief valve back in, and same as, where is it there, that one. So now I'm just going to clean up this a bit more with the wire brush, and then I'll give it a quick paint. Just got the goo on there and the gasket, and just put some goo on the sump and then slap that on. Torque it down to what, 5 Newton meters. So we've just got the sump on, done all them up. We did that a little while ago, but haven't had the camera out. Now we're just flipping it back over, so then we can get ready to put the head on. So I'll flip this over and I'll show you it sitting up. Right, so I've just flipped it over. It's looking pretty cool. Getting there. So got the piston. Oh, I've already spoke about that. So got the cam, roller, lifter, whatever you want to call it, in there. So I'm just cleaning them individually. I've got them numbered from where they came out, so I'll just clean them. I've just put some assembly grease in all of them, and then I'll just slide them in there, and then that's pretty much all I can do tonight. I think, actually no, I can do oil cooler, so I'll put the oil cooler on, but I gotta put the coil plugs in first, and then oil cooler. So yeah, I'm just cleaning out that other oil thing. I got petrol sitting in there, so cleaned up this and painted that. It come up pretty good, so yeah, looks good. So then just cleaning, all of these. So yeah, number 2. Clean that now. All right, so I've just finished putting it all in these cam buckets, I think they're called. So got all them in. I'll get the lint-free rag and just wipe across all that before we put the head on, obviously. But for now, I'm just cleaning up all the bolts over there for this oil cooler. So I'll clean all this up, and then we'll knock these core plugs in. So yeah, it's coming along. It's looking real good. Pretty happy. It's just looking fresh. I'm so keen for this to have a nice, reliable TD and not have to put oil in it every 5 minutes and check the coolant and stuff like that. So fresh, reliable TD, that's the goal here. So yeah, be able to take it anywhere and not have to worry. Yeah, so pretty happy. I've buffed them faces up. I'll just flush it out again, because there's, I don't know if you can see it, so much gunk still in there. It's like I flushed it like 6 times, blew it out the pressure cleaner. So yeah, I will just keep feeding petrol through it until it's clean. So I will do that. I've cleaned up all the bolts for that, but I'll probably call it after that, because it's pretty late now and I'm still at work. So yeah, that's good. Motor's all good, all covered up. So sump's on. Fair bit of progress today as well. Yeah, still have to put the core plugs in, but that can be a tomorrow job, Friday, so get that done. Alright, so just painted up all these, cleaned up all vac pump and that, because I'm converting to a blacktop front cover. So got that, the oil feed line, cleaning up the thermostat housing. Got the fuel pump, the Ross balancer, genuine Nissan water pump, thermostat, ARP head studs. Cleaned up this oil cooler pretty good. Just bolting them in, and Brad's cleaning up the bolts for that as well. So yeah, should have most of it all on. Hopefully we'll get the balancer on, fuel pump on, then the vac pump and that, and then we can chuck the head on. So I'll give you a quick look at the block as well. So that's the block. Just got the core plugs in, so that makes it look so fresh. Paint it and then put the core plugs in. That's real nice. So yeah, I got the core plugs in there. Cogs sitting in there, timed up. It's got the Zs lined up. There you can see it. There's some assembly grease in there. But yeah, it's looking good. Got to put this, I don't know what that is, like the block drain or something like that. So get that on and get the water pump on and stuff like that. So yeah, that'll be good. So I'm cleaning up this thermostat housing as well. I've actually just got a file and some emery just so I can get this back flat, because yeah, I took a little bit much with the wire wheel, I'm not gonna lie. So get that back flat. I won't take much off with emery, it'll just make it back nice and flat again, and then I'll clean it all off, get it back to alley and raw alley, and then I'll give it a lick of paint again. So I'll do that now. Alright, so I'm just cleaning up this fuel pump cover. I was just gonna paint over it, and I was like, it'll probably look shit. I'm gonna paint it black, so it'll look good on there. But I'll just clean it up, get it back to bare metal, and then put some primer on it. Obviously clean it, put some primer on it. And yeah, I'll do that properly so it looks good over there. Alright, so we've got the new fuel pump on there, back pump's on, oil cooler's on. It's looking real good now. I'm getting pretty excited, so yeah, got that on there. We're just going to get a keyway out of one of the other spare cranks we've got because I'm an idiot and I don't know where I'll put it. I took it off, put it somewhere special, and I forgot, so I'll probably find it later. But yeah, I've got to put the block chain on that side, but yeah, it's coming along nicely. So got the dipstick I can put in too, but we'll put the head on and everything before I start fitting everything else out. We've just got the Ross balancer, we're getting ready to chuck that on, but we've just got to measure this because it gets rid of the cone, and yeah, it's a lot more complicated than I thought. Alright, so after we've just we got pretty much just took the layer of paint off in here on the Ross balancer because they get like this powder coat or stuff in here. So we just put that on the die grinder. Well, it wasn't a die grinder, it was the flappy pad on there, this one. And pretty much, yeah, just went around in there, and we had the micrometer, wherever it is, and just kept measuring the inside of this and to there, just so it wasn't stupid tight. So it was on there, and then we took this off, just putting this back on now. Took this off and tapped it on with the soft hammer, so it went on with that. So, and then we where's the brass hammer as well. So once we got it fairly of the way on, we just tapped it on with the brass hammer around there, and yeah, that went on nice. It's like nice and firm, it's not loose. Alright, so that last video cut out, I ran out of storage, but just quickly, this grub screw here, we had dramas with that was seasoned there, so we had to heat it up and smack it, and we finally got that to come out. Also, a silver top front fuel pump cover does not fit on a black top timing cover, if you're ever wondering. I just got everything ready to put it on and it didn't line up. This bolt hole here is different because of the vac pump. So luckily Brad had one here, so we'll go clean this one up and give it a paint and put that on there. So yeah, Ross balancer's on. Fuel pump, I've already said all this, but yeah, I'm just so excited. I'll get this on, cleaned up and paint it and put it on. That's going to wrap up part 1 of the motor build. Hope you guys enjoyed it. In part 2, there will be the motor complete and we'll be chucking it in the car. So stay tuned for that. Pretty excited. So catch us in the next one.